Aloha, my friends, my familia. Welcome to today's live astrological update. I am Lotus Dawn. This is Blossom with Lotus. I bring you true to the stars astrological updates from the actual sky. And so, what a powerful time we are in. I was looking at the astrological chart today and felt very drawn to bring you a painting, an explanation of what is going on with all of the planetary bodies. And what's really interesting to me is that we can feel intuitively, energetically, when there are big movements of the planets, when they are engaging in very interesting relationships with one another. We tend to feel and perceive them. And it's very interesting as an astrologer to watch how these planetary bodies and the constellational signs that they are in tend to deeply affect and bring storylines into being in our lives as well. They're activators and catalysts for the energy that we are all feeling. So I'm just going to share the screen right away, and we're going to go to the actual sky and take a look at what is happening with the planets. And so one of the biggest phenomenons that's going on right now is that two of our major planets, one being Venus, which is the goddess of love, wealth, abundance. It also represents our worth and value. And Mars, the divine masculine, so the counterpart to Venus, energy, how we take action, our mojo, our leadership energy. Both of them are in kind of interesting signs for their natural beingness. Venus is so much about building material things and value in our lives, doing what we love in the material plane. Venus relates to the enjoyment of all of the senses, eating delicious food, smelling delicious fragrances, buying beautiful clothing. Okay, Venus tends to relate to very physical reality things. And yet Venus is now in the sign of Scorpio. Okay, and so I'm going to go over this in greater depth, and we're going to take a look at it in the sky. So here, I think in Western or tropical astrology, Venus may be in a different sign right now, but in the actual sky, she is in Scorpio. And not only is she in Scorpio, but she's very close to Antares, which I will have to go into in greater depth. But the eye of the scorpion. Okay, and so what is the scorpion in astrology? Okay, the scorpion is a sign. Actually, Scorpio has three symbols. I'm going to actually take you through a little lesson on the Scorpio energy. Scorpio is very, very energy. So I was talking to you about how Venus relates to our material wealth. It relates to abundance. It relates to money, right? It's kind of material in nature, what we love that we can have on the material plane. But right now, Venus has traveled into the sign of Scorpio, and Scorpio is the quintessential opposite of that energy, where Venus is material and wealth and abundance. Scorpio is all about energy. Some people, talk about sexual energy, like Scorpio is very sexy. But it's not just about sexiness. It is about the energy of transmutation. So Scorpio has three symbols. Scorpio's three symbols are the scorpion, which scuttles along the ground. This is the undeveloped form of Scorpio that has a lot of attachment. It's very controlling. It's very kind of hard for Scorpio to let go. And then as Scorpio goes along and travels and develops and grows, Scorpio then develops into its second symbol, which is, and there's Paramahansa saying hi. Hi, Paramahansa. One of the great spiritual masters blessing our day. And that's one of the beautiful things about Venus and Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio is asking us to transcend our material attachment to the physical world. So Venus is all about physicality, right? And developing wealth and abundance in the physical plane and enjoying our lives and all the senses. And that's beautiful energy. However, Scorpio is like the energy of the butterfly. It's like the energy of the phoenix. Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in another form. Okay. And so Scorpio energy is magnetic, passionate, powerful, intense. Scorpio is depth and transformation, the power to claim the inner phoenix of rebirth. Scorpio holds the power to transform through any situation. And so one of the rulers of Scorpio is Mars. Okay, so Mars type energy, it's pretty intense. And so we have the planet Venus, which is the energy of the goddess, it's the energy of love and enjoyment. But we have it in the sign that is ruled by one of its co-rulers is Mars. The other ruler is Pluto. Okay, and so this is very intense energy around our finances, around wealth, around our material universe. Okay. And so what else is Scorpio? Scorpio is the transformational journey from our lower self, which is represented by the scorpion, raising up into our eagle self, raising up into the phoenix, which is full transformation. So what does this mean when it comes to finances? What does this mean when it comes to our lives? Is that we may be being launched on somewhat of a transformational journey around making money, really being asked to question what we love, question what we enjoy, question our attachment to material things. Okay. Scorpio energy is the phoenix. It's the energy of rebirth. Hope rises like a phoenix from the ashes of shattered dreams. Okay. And so Scorpio energy asks us to transmute. It asks us to transform. It asks us to be reborn into something higher. And so this could also be related to matters of the heart. We might be finding that love situations we're being asked to examine on a deeper level, to release our attachments and to allow the energy of the soul to come front and center, as opposed to attachment, as opposed to need, as opposed to the physical reality. We're being asked to transform at a soul level. Okay. So that's Scorpio energy. Venus, the goddess of love, the goddess of abundance in Scorpio. This is intense. This is really intense. So if you've been going along here and you're like, gosh, what is up with all of these initiations? What is up with all this intensity? We have the planet of love, the planet of abundance, the planet of what we find enjoyable in life through our senses, in the sign of ego transmutation, in the sign of transformation, in the sign of alchemy. So we're being asked to alchemize our senses. And one really powerful deity to call upon for this work is actually so interesting. I'm currently spending a lot of time at the land of the Medicine Buddha. And there is this golden statue that I've been really drawn to, going to it every day and been very curious, what is this being? And so this being is known as Kshitigarbha. There's a great image. Okay, I'll share screen with you. And Kshitigarbha was one of the 8 bodhisattvas in Tibetan Buddhism. And this particular Buddha had such deep compassion for the people of the earth. Kshitigarbha translates into the womb of the earth or earth treasury. And I was thinking about the energy of Venus. Venus is kind of like the Earth treasury. Venus is the billionaire planet. It represents greatest wealth. And so for the planet of greatest wealth to go into Scorpio, the energy of transformation, right? We're going to be drawn to spend more money on transforming our energy. We're going to be drawn to clearing our energy blocks because we have to release. Scorpio is about releasing. It's about letting go. It's about purifying. And Kshitigarbha was one of the great bodhisattvas who ascended into the light and then had such deep compassion that he came back to assist all the other souls to go and ascend as well. And not only that, he also assists all those stuck in the lowest dimensions. So if you feel like you're going through an intense transformational journey right now, you might want to call on or invoke the energy of Kshitigarbha to assist you at this time, to assist you with transforming your relationship to the material plane. If you're struggling with money, you're struggling with obstacles, this being is very, very powerful to call upon. So I just wanted to share a little bit of the Kshitigarbha mantra here. Why am I sharing so much about Tibetan Buddhism? I was at a spiritual retreat with the world-renowned psychic Gary Spivey, and it was so incredible. And at this retreat, about 6 monks, Tibetan monks, joined us. And it was just so powerful. My partner and I received a blessing from them that was one of the most powerful healings I've ever experienced. And it was at this point that I realized the power of Tibetan Buddhism, its mantras, its energy to assist us at this time. So I just wanted to share a little bit of this mantra for everyone going through various levels of challenges right now.
This one curl is the reason I started my wavy.
And she's explaining to us about curls, which is awesome. Okay. So here we go. And it's kind of a fun mantra. I was actually reciting it by the statue yesterday. Chimbo, chimbo, chim chimbo, akasha, chimbo, vakara, chimbo. So chimbo, part of it. All right, so let's see if this can assist you.
Tare mile made namte kule mile angachitabe aragire varagire kudashama male tonage tonagule huru gulo tomile morito mirita bandata karkamrim huru
Woo! So I've actually put that on a couple of times just to see what it energetically does. And it's very powerful. So you can find that on YouTube. If you're going through challenges, if this Venus and Scorpio energy is bringing things up to the surface. Now, we don't only have Venus in Scorpio causing this ruckus. We have Venus in Scorpio in direct polarity, or one might say opposition, which is basically, what does that mean? It means like a challenging relationship. It's a challenging relationship. It means that Venus is speaking the opposite language to another planet that she's very close to. And this opposite language is hard. It's hard for them to understand each other. They're having a tough time communicating. So we have Venus and Scorpio. I explained to you that intensity. We're being asked to shed our attachments. We're being asked to go beyond our physical realm and into the spiritual. We're being asked to ascend our connection to what we love and value into a higher plane. Okay. And so not only do we have Venus in that intensity of Scorpio, but we have Venus in direct polarity or opposition to Uranus. And here's Uranus over here. Of course, Uranus is a much smaller planet. We can't see it, but there's Uranus opposite Venus. Okay, so what is Uranian energy? Uranian energy is all about change and revolution in unexpected happenings. It is not stable. It is not grounded, even though Uranus is in the opposite sign of Scorpio, Taurus, which is the cow, which is the bull, which is grounding and stability. We have the most unstable, ungrounded planet in that sign. And so not only do we have Venus doing kind of this switcheroo, being in a sign that is so deep and intense, where Venus typically is all about what we love and what we enjoy. It's this kind of beautiful energy. We had Venus in Taurus, which is its natural ruler, several months back for like a month or two in like April, May. And it was beautiful energy. And there was like this energy of wealth and abundance, and it was just kind of flowing. But with Venus and Scorpio, they're like, the opposite sign to what the energy of Venus represents. Okay, it's the opposite sign of what Venus is ruled by Taurus. Okay, or Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Scorpio is opposite Taurus. And so Venus is in its opposite sign. It's kind of in its challenge sign. It's like Venus, the goddess of love and abundance and wealth, is being asked to go get a PhD in letting go, and letting go of attachment, of letting go of need, and letting go of needing things to be a certain way physically, and getting more in touch with the spiritual dimension of abundance, with the energy of abundance. And so because Venus is in such an intense energetic sign at this time, and because I think this may be bringing up a lot of things around wealth, especially with Uranus, the planet of change and unexpected happenings, polarizing it, causing things to move, causing things from the past, because Uranus is retrograde, to come up around our finances, to come up around our spiritual connection to wealth. I have decided to host a live event tonight, Friday, October 25th at 6 p.m., where you can come bring your astrology chart and just find out where Venus is aspecting your wealth house, okay? To find out how your monetary flow may be being affected by Venus in Scorpio. Where is this landing in your astrological chart? It's going to be an exciting event. It's going to be free. We're just going to be talking about the current astrological energies and seeing where this aspect is landing. It's going to be 6 p.m. tonight, October 25th, if you'd like to join us. If I have not done your astrology chart before, please send me your birthday time and location so I can add you to the roster. And let's just take a look. Let's take a look at where this wealth energy of Venus and Scorpio may be activating which area of your life, because that will tell us a lot about what might be happening for you financially. Okay. And I know that finances with Venus and Scorpio are going to be very top of mind, because we're being asked to do this deep dive energetically around our relationship to our attachments, money, wealth, finances, everything in our physical plane. We're kind of being put through almost like a retrograde cycle of looking at our relationship to it, looking at what we love, looking at what we find valuable, looking at the worth of our material realm around the ways that we create money or cash flow or income or abundance. And so it's a really big topic up in the air right now. It could also relate to femininity being a really big topic right now, about the feminine energy. Scorpio relates to some really intense areas of life. It relates to sex, death, talk about sudden unexpected happenings, right? So, all right. So I'm really excited to share this event. Leave a comment below if you would like to join us tonight. And now we're halfway through what I wanted to share with you. So what else is there? So if we have Venus and Scorpio opposite Uranus, you would think that is enough, right? But we also have this other thing going on, which is that we have Mars, the divine masculine energy, over here in Cancer. And you're like, okay, cool, Lotus. Like, what's the big deal about that? Well, Mars is the divine masculine energy. It's all about action. It's all about attachment energy. It's all about our leadership energy. It's all about taking action. I will definitely put the link in the comments. And so why is Mars in Cancer such a bizarre energy? Cancer is, okay, you ready for this? So let's dive into what Cancer is here, just briefly. Cancer is not very masculine at all. Cancer is the sign of the home. It is the sign of the mom. It is the sign of nurturing and nourishment and love and family. Okay, so what is Mars? Mars is the divine masculine, right? It's a warrior energy, and it is in Cancer. Okay, and so what does that mean? Is that Mars, the divine masculine, is in a challenging, sort of challenging arena right now. It's an energy of maybe the masculine learning to feel more, get more in touch with their emotions. Like the big key word for Cancer, key energy is emotion. It's all about the home. It's all about nurturing. It's all about the mom and family. Okay, so, and these are some pages from a book I'm working on writing that I have not published and still needs to be edited. But this is basically going to be a book where I share, what the dates for each sign are in the Tree of the Star system, as well as what each of the signs is all about. So Cancer is all about the home, nurturing, nourishment, the phases of the moon, mom, our memories of the past, our heritage, our ancestry. It's all about emotion, feeling, and the waters of life. And so let's just think about the fact that Mars is the divine masculine energy. Okay, Mars is how we act, it's how we take charge, it's our leadership energy. What is the moon that rules Cancer? Well, the moon is always shifting, it's always changing, it's always in flux. And so for these energies to be together, Mars and Cancer, it means a couple of things. It means that energetically, we may be feeling like we're one way one moment, and then we're a different way the next. Like our energy is going to be very changeable, and it's not going to be very consistent. It's going to be very much in relation to our emotions. We may feel more private than normal because Cancer really likes to protect the home and the family, right? It's all about the waters of life. Isn't that an amazing picture? It's about, nourishment. It's about the mom. And so having Mars in this sign could be challenging for the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is about taking action, taking charge, going forwards. And all of a sudden, Mars is in Cancer. And so the masculine might be feeling more sensitive, more vulnerable, and that could be the masculine, physically, or that could be the masculine in us, which is our leadership energy. It's our action energy, the masculine in masculine form, or the masculine in the feminine, right? We both, men and women, have both feminine and both masculine. Okay, so having the masculine energy Mars in Cancer is a little bit confusing. And may make our focus collectively much more about our home, our family, about nourishment, about taking care of ourselves. We may feel more moody. We may feel more sensitive. We may feel more emotional. And what's really interesting to have Mars in Cancer at this time is that Cancer can also relate to the homeland and to this desire to protect our homeland, because the symbol for Cancer is the crab or the lobster or the turtle, right? It's this kind of hard outer shell, and then it's all soft and gooey and vulnerable inside. Okay, and so Mars in Cancer, we may feel very protective of our home, our family, and the homeland. And so interesting to have Mars go into Cancer around the most heated 2 weeks of the year leading up into the United States presidential election. And so all of a sudden, we have this kind of unstable energy because Cancer is always shifting and changing. It's always in flux. And Mars is action and it's leadership energy, and it can be aggression and it can be anger. So I really, really, really want to stress the importance right now with having Venus in water and Mars in water too, the feminine and masculine, both in a water sign, to be aware that people may be feeling exceptionally emotional. Okay, it is not just because of the politics, it's not just because of the election. Astrologically, people are feeling very deeply emotional. And so that's one of the reasons I've decided to put together this live event tonight, starting at 6 p.m. I'm going to leave the link in the comments if you'd like to join us so we can see where both Venus in Scorpio and Mars in Cancer will be affecting you personally. Where in your life might you be feeling like you're going through this very deep initiation, transformational journey? That's Venus in Scorpio. Or where are you feeling the depth of emotion, Mars in Cancer? Cancer is the most emotional sign of the entire zodiac. And so to have the feminine energy and the masculine energy both in a water sign means that we may be in our feels individually and collectively as a society, as a planet. And so it's really, really important to hold space and love and nurturing for ourselves right now. We might need to get more rest. We might need to care for ourselves a little bit more deeply. And then it all comes back to one of the most important things of the entire year of 2024, which is where the destiny point is for this year. And so the destiny point is actually in a very unusual sign. It's in the energy of Pisces. And so what that tells me is that the destiny for 2024, the destiny that we're all working on with all these outer world things coming up to the surface, destiny point in Pisces. Pisces is the return back to the spirit. It is the return back to oneness. It is the return back to the spiritual realm. And so how do we cope? How do we deal with such depth and so much emotion? We have to take time out. We have to acknowledge the world and everything that's happening in it. And we also have to choose peace. We have to remember that everything that is happening out there is a reflection of what is within us. And so whatever's coming up for you, whatever's happening out there, one of the best ways to remedy it is to work on what is happening within. And so it is a really important year for taking time out, for resting, for rejuvenation, for allowing the world to be what it is, and going within, going to spiritual retreats, praying, meditating, getting out of the doing and into the being and into the spiritual connection to our highest self, because that is where the mojo is. That is where the magic is. And that is where the power to transform our outer world lives. And so this is truly the time for energy clearing, for energy transmutation, for transforming our energy at the deepest levels, and to allow the world out there to do what it does. But to know that as we change what is within, we are going to be shifting the timelines and the narratives. And as we all hop onto our own highest vibrational beingness, we're shifting everything. And we have that power and we have that ability, even right now, in this moment, as we collectively focus on calling in peace inside of ourselves and peace on our world, on our planet, we are creating it. And the news and the the various outer things all around us, social media, do their best to pull us into a state of anxiety, fear, overwhelm. But you have the power. Take back your power of peace. Choose it. Choose it. Choose to create it within yourself like a beautiful seed in the heart. And as you choose to create that seed of peace in your heart, the world will blossom around you into that which you are. It's truly magnificent and truly powerful what we are capable of creating, both in ourselves and then as a reflection out into the world. And so I really encourage you to take your power back at this time to create peace, to know that we are the ones who create our reality, even though there are all these external things. Let's choose to create that which we wish to have in our lives. So I send you all so much love, so much love, so much abundance. And I look forward to seeing you all tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to see where Venus, the billionaire planet in Scorpio, and Mars, our action energy in Cancer, the sign of emotion and family, are currently sitting. So if you haven't been on my live calls, please direct message me your birth information as soon as possible. 6 p.m. will be coming up rather fast here. It's already 11 a.m. And so I look forward to seeing you this evening, Friday, October 25th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you can join us, I look forward to seeing you. If you have not joined my Telegram channel, I will leave a link, and I offer live updates there as well, which are really powerful, as well as my YouTube channel is also an option if you'd like to know more. So much love to you all. I really appreciate you all. And this is a big time. If you are feeling a lot right now, if you are going through the ringer, oh, I didn't even mention Pluto with Mars. So we'll talk about that tonight. All right. Biggest love, y'all. We got this. We're going to make it through. Better on the other side. Aloha.